Welcome back, everybody. Geeking out in the building. How we feeling tonight?
Feeling good.
Good.
All right, Cam, you're giving me call center supervisor, and I love it.
Yeah, this was Arthur's job when he grew up. So,
yeah. No, I can't help you. No, I can't help you. Well, we are here tonight, everybody, to have an amazing episode, a controversial one, a slightly messy one, but a really good episode tonight. Tonight, we are talking about TV shows that should have been canceled and the ones that should have been saved, or how we like to call it,
Revive or justified.
Revive and justified.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Justified.
Where's my script? Where am I backup singer?
No, for real, because I'm like, where is our round show?
I have too many screens open. But as you know, here we are now. Every time we come together, we like to have a special drinking game. And Cam, can you tell us what our drinking game for tonight is?
Canceled.
So for everyone who's watching tonight, when you hear the word canceled, make sure that you pick up your cup and have a sip with us.
With your pinky up. Amen.
Nice. Okay.
Be classy.
Real classy. Woo. Okay. I'm Tamon Kane. You can find me here on Geeking Out and on Screaming Kinks and other fun places around the world. I am here with my special co-host tonight, the Cadence Third World over here. How you doing? Let's go.
I'm doing good. That's where you can find me on Twitter. On Facebook, you can find me Cadence Nova K. You have to type it all the way out if you are looking for me specifically.
The ghetto.
And I'm going to pass it down to Ricky right here.
Hey everyone, I'm Ricky Z. You can find me at RickyZ_social on Twitter, TikTok, or X, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
It's Twitter.
Whatever.
It's Twitter.
I'm moving my way over.
We talked about this
and Threads. Nothing's over there.
Oh, I did like when you called it Twix. That was pretty
You're not
good.
gonna get any of them right.
Not Threads. I can't do it. I can't do any of it.
I used to be able to do all the social medias, and now I'm just like,
I'm too old.
I don't want to talk to nobody.
Just text me.
I literally had to ask my daughters how to use TikTok the other day.
I understand.
Oh.
No, not TikTok. Snapchat is the one that I just can't get, but whatever.
Yes, that one. I cannot get into Snapchat. No, thank you.
One of the oldest people that I know, Lucia.
Thank you.
Also known as Nosferatu. Okay.
As Nosferatu. Or if you know his real name, like Rumpelstiltskin, say it back. My aunt's little.
Yep, that's at Lucia Man or at LuciaMan79 on most everything. Papyrus, stone tablets, clay tablets. It's a bunch of smart asses.
No, I love that you leaned into it. Yeah.
You know, I bet you he was there with Martin Luther when he made
not Martin Luther King. Not
Martin Luther King, Martin Luther.
That's wow.
Luther
That's really long.
We're talking about wars. We're getting ready for it.
The only time that ever had like, oh, Lucio, look it, we found a picture of you in. It's not a good one, man, because it was like the campus I was working at had like some kind of like crime thing, and they posted a picture. The guy looked remotely like vaguely Hispanic, and he had a mustache and beard. I was like, that's maybe a little bit too much, boss. It's like maybe that's
no.
Yeah.
We found photos of you too, hanging on the Sistine Chapel.
It's me like this. You know, I know me from this pose.
Alphabet Glinda pose.
Of the reaching up, the center of the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, we know that
creation of Adam.
Yep. You're one of those tarot cards, the first deck. You're one of the images Like Lilia.
He was definitely in that Last Supper picture.
Yes,
Devin,
come on.
please grab your
Pour it up.
cocktail. It's time.
Yeah.
You're already behind. We're sad. Come and drink with us. All right. You know, we normally have a fun game. We do a quiz or something like that. But tonight we're gonna do something really different. So we're gonna try something fun. It's you'll see. Just hold on for 2 seconds. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it started.
I'm just going to put this thing on the bottom. Here you go.
Let us enter. And this is not sponsored by Jackbox yet, but Jackbox, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to use your game to help us with interactions tonight.
Hello there,
You're amazing.
test subjects. Sign in with code, then take a picture or draw yourself for our records.
Oh God.
Why is that phone
draw
one
yourself.
to keep turning
It looks so crazy.
every website into an app?
How there's a limit on my name? I like that our code is like slash.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, everybody take a picture, please.
It wouldn't let me
No,
do
you got to
it.
draw a picture, man. Draw your picture.
Oh,
I tried. It wouldn't let me do it.
That's why you should take one.
No, it's not fun.
Oh,
There I
you're
am.
not-
Okay, I'm there.
it can be
Oh,
fun.
it wouldn't let me. Oh, I got to redo real fast.
Welcome, Devin.
There we go.
Is that everybody?
Yes, come
Let's
on.
go.
Did it put me in? There we go.
Uh-oh. Am I here? Am I here? Okay, good.
Ricky, I like yours best.
Thank you.
That's cute.
All right, ready.
I don't think mine is ready.
No. Yes. Oh, yo, you're here.
He's
See
fixed.
you.
But what,
I had to put my Donald Trump face.
what do y'all say?
Mine just says draw yourself, submit.
It's on the
Somebody
main
should
page.
have control.
I don't have control.
Oh, is it me?
Okay,
It's
just
usually
you.
whoever logs in first.
It was
Welcome to Role Model.
Cameron.
Please do not
Oh.
drink from crackers.
Surprise.
We've
Right.
spent years searching for the genetic magic that makes each and every human a truly unique individual. But that was hard, so we found a shortcut. We theorize every friend group has some version of the smart one, the popular one, the troubled loner who I can change. You get the idea. And these roles make it a lot easier to figure people out with science. You guys are going to match your fellow test subjects to the roles that fit them best. My lovely assistant will put all the data into the tubes, and at the end, we'll crunch the numbers and tell each of you who you really are. Ready to judge your friends based on pure logical merit? Great,
Yes.
let's go. Everyone vote for the category that looks the most interesting, preferably something you all know a bit about.
Ooh. Come on,
Oh,
guys.
jeez.
I mean, I know plenty about blowing money, but I'm not going to talk about that.
All right, Devin. Good choice.
Devin, I don't know you, but this is going to be fun.
Okay.
Which classic film hero are you? So, on your device, you've got the names of your fellow lab rats. Drag each one to the role you think
Wow.
fits them
This is
best.
good.
That includes yourself.
Okay.
Oh, and you'll see a little 99% sign next to each role. Tap that to lock in the answer you're 99% certain will match what everyone else picks. I'll make it worth your while if you're right, so make sure to pick someone. When everyone's given out their roles, we'll check out the results.
Oh, drag. Oh, individually?
Yeah, drag their name to the option.
and then click submit. Hurry up.
I'm trying.
You canceled.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'll submit it.
Oh, you picked
Who's missing?
one.
Everybody's missing.
No, Devin and
Lucio's
There we
missing.
go. Okay, we got
I'm
it.
trying to submit and it's not. There we
Let's
go.
see where we landed.
You did
I hit it 4
it.
times.
Let's see those votes.
If you're wrong, take a sip.
okay.
The outliers.
What is that
That's
wrong? What is
our
wrong?
winner. Yippee! I
Oh.
like to reward my
I guess I
lab
was
rats
wrong.
for positive behavior, so I'll give you guys these nutritious science pellets. Whenever your answers match the group, whoever has the most at the end is my lab rat of the month. Plus, they taste like meat.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
And yes, if you are,
I could have sworn I picked you for Sarah Connor. Or maybe I didn't.
Mm.
I
All right,
picked somewhere
Sarah.
else.
The other Sarah.
Clarice.
Clarice,
subjects
yeah.
who already have a role can't get this one, so we'll take out these votes. Woohoo!
Oh.
You belong in a museum.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Who better to discover it than the person who was there when it was created?
Ah, that's where I left this.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really know yourself, or at
Golly.
least what your friends think of you.
I'm not winning this game.
You are the ultimate survivor. And we've got some 99% bonus pellets to award.
There you go.
Here's how it all shook out. And here's how many science pellets everyone has. Just a reminder, I'll reward you with pellets when your answers match the group or when you do the best in a tiebreaker experiment. Keep that in mind if you want to be the winning test subject.
Oh man, why am I like? There we go.
Select the next category.
Oh.
Oh, I kind of like Mario Kart items though. All right.
Not Mario Kart items. Are you kidding me? Y'all stop it right now.
Oh my god.
Really should have went with grandmother names.
Why can't I die?
All right.
Which Wizard of Oz character are you?
Oh, that's
Assign
good.
those roles. And don't forget to tap that 99% next to the role you're most sure about.
Are we talking about Wicked or the Wizard of Oz?
The
Wizard of Oz.
is what it is.
Ju-
Oh my God.
I don't know. That was hard.
I'm still struggling.
You just gotta pick something. Just go for it.
Let's find out who you are. If I'm counting right, that's a tie. Time for another test to see who gets this role.
Oh.
Who is tied?
Who is most likely to commit unintentional manslaughter? This is now. Whoever wins gets the role.
Oh, so I can even answer.
Third is unintentional.
Unintentional manslaughter, like dropping a house on someone.
Oh yeah.
I guess.
Oh, that shook me a little bit. That took me low.
The data has spoken. Performing the best in this experiment is definitely worth a few science pellets.
I didn't get the role.
Don't spend them all in one place. Gonna need more data to settle this tie.
Oh.
Okay.
Prove that you are
Oh my
brainless.
God.
What's one word you can never spell right? Enter your answer on your device.
Oh.
Your fellow lab rats will decide whether you get the role. Even if you're not sure you want the role, I'm handing out science pellets to the winner, so do your best. It's an experiment, man. You think Schrodinger's cat always wants to get in the box?
If you in the comments, drop some words you can never spell right if you're not in the app.
Yes, please.
We want to hear from you.
There you go. Vote on your devices now.
Yes, sir.
I hate that word. Ugh.
Which difference?
Wow, you guys
Yeah.
love time.
I have 2 words.
According to our top secret algorithm,
Different.
goes to you. And this roll comes with some science pellets.
All right, there we go.
Ooh,
Oh.
love a tie. It means we get more data. Here's the test I need you to perform. There's nothing scarier than a first date, so give your best pickup line in a cowardly lion voice. Divide up the timer however you want. The other subjects will decide who gets the role.
Oh, Devin can't do this.
Devin, type in the chat.
Yeah, Devin, type in your pickup line.
I don't know what to do.
Come on, Cam, what you doing?
Cowardly lion voice pickup line.
I don't know. I don't do pickup lines.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Devin's gonna win by default.
Running through my mind all day.
Keep Devin right now.
Did you fall from heaven because you've been running through my mind all day?
Wow.
Devin, comments. Hey, Billy.
Put 'em up. Put 'em up. I pick them up. I pick them.
Stop.
Come on.
Come on. Damn it.
Come on.
So slow,
He
Devin.
couldn't do the voice of.
We were all thinking
It
the
don't
same
even
thing on that
matter.
one.
That's pretty good, Devin. That's great.
That's a great thing about it.
That's some nonsense. I should have gone Devin.
This role was inside of you the whole time.
Nice.
Hey, Billy. That's crazy. That's fine.
And not just because of your water allergy.
That's nasty, girl. She called you dirty.
That's the lineup. Oh, and you?
Somebody
You
take a
are
screenshot
freaking
of
me out
this.
with these predictions. Get out of everyone's heads. Okay, choose your final category.
And Mad Max, that's crazy.
Oh man, Shakespearean quotes is pretty good. Those 2 shows, exactly the same thing. Sex and the City and Mad Max.
I know that's right, Billy. I know that's right.
Which Sex and the City or Mad Max Fury Road character are you? Let the truth telling begin.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh.
I don't know on these 2, so I'm guessing.
I just made some shit up.
Yeah, same.
I don't even remember it in Morton Joe. You all right over there, huh?
Yeah, it just took so long.
Let's see what everyone picked.
I I was the last one.
That's crazy.
And I'm offended to be considered a carry. Thank you.
You don't know her like I know her.
Hey, boo!
You don't know her like I know her. I'm disappointed.
Thank you.
Such a good character.
That is insane. That is insane. That is insane. It should have been you. That is a plot twist.
Of course,
Hey,
Immortan.
you got the role you wanted.
Yep.
Nice use of the 99%.
I'm just reading the room.
Here's where we landed.
All right, catching up.
No, I couldn't get the screen
I think
time.
that's the last one.
Before the experiment ends, let's see what else we can determine from your roles. You, judging by your roles, you're this, and you're also this. You can't be both. We're going to find out which quality fits you better.
Lucio.
Great.
While meeting your partner's parents, you recognize them from America's Most Wanted. What do? Answer this prompt on your device. Then the other
What are they guilty of?
your response.
There's some
Doesn't
certain
matter,
things.
Lucio.
Recent
Something
events.
to-
Recent events bring certain
Something to
things
be
to
on
light
the-
about ethics.
Were they profiled?
America's Most Wanted is all you need to
background?
know.
Or- Are they a
Uh,
POC?
They were on America's Most Wanted. Good luck.
Good.
During CEO.
Sure. How long do I have? 18 seconds? Let me write a paragraph.
Too soon, actually.
15. 10. 9.
Oh my God, are you
8,
kidding me?
7, 6.
You made this
5,
decision 100 times
4,
before.
3, 2, 1.
That's what we're working with. Vote on your devices now.
Why do they have me vote?
Because it's not your vote. You stand with this face said.
No, they did have me vote.
Okay.
Somebody needs to go.
Oh, Devin.
That's Devin. Is morally flexible. Yeah, exactly, Billy.
Just
Exactly,
as I
Billy.
hypothesized. Based on your roles, you're total opposites. From a very specific point of view, anyway. We're gonna pit you against each other and see who wins. What's your go-to movie when you're in a really bad mood? I want both of you to write an answer that fits the trait above your head. The rest of you will decide who wins.
Done. Come on, Devin. Underlay. Yeah.
Let's go, Devin.
Uh-oh.
Cadence put in the Lorax.
Not
Billy,
even.
both. Both.
Is horror funny or serious? Yeah, both.
Depends on which one.
Devin.
Devin, today.
Hey, Devin, take your time.
Oh, please, Lucio.
Here it is. Vote on your devices now.
Well, by default. Come on.
Right.
Team Devin.
There, you have it.
That is insane. That is insane.
Oh,
Y'all
sorry.
are attacking.
Your roles tell me that you're polar
Saboteurs.
opposites.
Saboteurs.
At least in this one extremely
I'm not
specific
gonna
way.
participate.
Science demands an experiment. Which of you
Devin, are
is
you
better?
still there?
For science.
Devin, can we remove it?
I
You're
ain't
out of
pushing
touch,
another button.
You're certain your poker
You know,
hand
I've had
villains.
this game is notorious for like
Type
having
an
not this
answer on your
particular one, but like
device.
getting disconnected if you have like even an okay internet connection. Sometimes Jackbox is weird. Yeah, cash Sir Poker Hand can beat the villains. What do you wager?
raw data. Vote on your devices now. Wow, no contest there. That's it. The experiment's complete. Here come your
It's
final
over.
rolls as determined by everything your fellow lab rats said about you.
What?
And that's insane.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
our
no
lab
sense.
rat of the
That's
month
a
with
whole
the most total
contradiction.
science pellets is
Oh, Lucio.
A quasi villain is crazy.
Okay, man, you gotta be flexible in this economy.
I'm weak. All right, that was fun.
Now we got a rolling credits. Are you kidding me?
And on that note, though,
Yeah.
you go ahead and
Yeah, on that note, we're going to run to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Right back.
Suddenly stopped being a
Amen.
blockhead and got way too many touching scenes with his family in episode 9 that's setting up a shocking demise in the finale. Did we say that?
What we calling it, right?
You called that. I said that.
Look at that embrace with Ethan.
And look at that at the bottom. They said God hands it to Jim. He's trying to make amends with all of his family.
Why?
Gosh.
Slaughter the family, leave Jim.
And we are back. That is Scream Kings from review. We just ended that last week, but we are having a family reunion this Thursday, actually. So make sure you guys come and hang out with us, and we got some fun games, similar to this type of thing, and we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amen.
I will never
Amen.
neither confirm nor deny, Billy.
Ricky, violent.
Uh-oh.
I mean, only under circumstances.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
I don't know how that sounds. That's scary.
Mm-mm. Not gonna catch you slipping.
So let's just jump right into this. We're going to kick this off with our first segment. But before we do that, canceled because we need to take a drink.
Wow.
We learned some really cool things about ourselves, that Lucio is a villain. Yeah.
I learned nothing because it was all false.
You're still
Not
mad about
very
the Smith
snarky.
Jones?
Not very snarky. I'm not very snarky. That's crazy.
Narky's your middle name. It's your love language.
And I'm a coward. That's insane.
Yeah, but
That is insane.
what the votes? What are the votes?
None of those things.
So
Yeah, y'all don't playing the game right. Y'all are bullshitting me.
Wow.
Evan had to
Okay.
go to the restroom. Or Evan.
Y'all literally picked Devin with no answer.
I mean, I actually picked you. Thank you. That's those two.
We're the villains, remember?
Not you're gonna gaslight me.
The fact
Like
that y'all
it didn't happen.
I mean, it wasn't on purpose, but it was.
Saboteur.
Saboteur.
The two highest scores.
Let's kick this off with they always take the good ones. Let's talk about why are some of these shows being canceled that we loved for so long. Who wants to just take it?
Well, I
I
mean,
don't want to take nothing.
there's several different reasons because we are in the age of streaming, and so if you're talking about a show that's strictly on a streaming site, then a lot of the times those, because they're not bringing in more subscriptions, they're inclined to drop them. Or what was it? Paramount Plus or Peacock? They had a couple of shows that only lasted for a season, and they completely removed them from their streaming site, and they could
Tax
take it as a
write-off.
tax write-off.
Yeah,
Look, I'm
that's
still
the
upset.
worst.
You know what? Now that I think about it again, I can't believe I forgot. But yes, looking at you, Paramount Plus, with Rise of the Pink Ladies.
Oh,
I'm still upset about that.
I actually enjoyed that show, and I didn't think I
I
was.
loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it, and the music was lovely.
The
I
music
loved
was
it.
lovely. Now, the
I
one
loved
show that got canceled that I wasn't really for was like League of Their Own. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Me neither.
They just said it was really woke. Um,
But what does that mean?
It means that the cast is biracial and they're lesbians. That's what it
Oh,
means.
I guess. Which is not the definition of woke at all, but okay.
That's what
It
it
means that there's
means.
representation other. It means there's representation other than the norm, or I'm sorry, other than the societal acceptable allowed limits.
Yeah, that was
Just so
very
y'all
PR.
know, that's not what woke means, y'all.
Well, I'm telling you how they're receiving it.
I know. It's just dumb.
Yeah, that's what they think. Well, that's what they feel like woke means.
Mhm.
That's what it really means to them,
Exactly.
and
And
that's how
all-
they carry it. So.
Yeah. Well, so back to the question. Also, I don't think they really give shows a chance to like find its footing, because some of our favorite shows, if they were to be like produced now, they wouldn't make it past the first season. Buffy didn't find
Like
its footing till the second season, honestly, because Buffy was a mid-season pickup. So that first season was very short for a reason. It was a mid-season pickup.
Mhm.
And we all like, if you talk to some people, like they always say like the first season's like one of the worst.
Yeah.
But I like the first season, but it's the campiest of all the campy seasons.
Okay, so I don't go back and rewatch that one, but as a Buffy fan who grew up with Buffy, when I first watched it, it was absolutely amazing and fine.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it. The hair is
Yes.
that's
It's-
fine, you know.
As my 12-year-old had told me a couple years ago when I had her watch it, it says season 1, it's very dated. It's very
It
much.
didn't age well. And then it makes me think about certain characters like Xander, who now from an adult lens is extremely problematic.
Trash.
Well, I feel like when it comes to the Buffy thing, I didn't hate the first season, but you also take into account it did come kind of on the tails of the movie. And so it kind of still had that feel to it, like that cheerleader feel that she had at the end of that movie. And I love the movie. The movie
Yes.
is a good time. The movie's a good time. And it feels like the first season was trying to kind of figure out how that translates into TV. So
Fair.
I was, I gave it some grace. With that in mind. But if you take that out of context,
Right. But as I was saying, like it was in a circumstance where it could have not been picked up, but it really got its footing in the second and third season, and like took off. And so some shows nowadays don't get that opportunity.
That's very true. Speaking of like the Netflix model is apparently not working either. So hold on, where are we? Before I
You're
jump,
nowhere
before
near
I
it.
jump
Just
into
body bring it up.
Okay, never mind. I will let him.
We'll circle
pin
back to that.
Parking lot.
What about you,
Also,
Lucille?
oh sorry, but also like if things are so niche, it's like I feel like people don't really appreciate like the fact that like some shows have like a very niche audience.
Yeah, and then
and-
it's canceled.
Which sucks.
Yeah,
But it's I think it's also a matter of when they do create those niche things, it doesn't get proper marketing that it would to necessarily reach that, because the niche audiences are not small.
No,
When
not
you
at
think
all.
about it, there are so many fandoms that are actually much larger than you probably would ever
Right.
imagine.
Mhm.
And so even though they're able to find stuff, randomly, if they were actually marketed to, then the shows could do better. But then I think also when it comes to like the marketing aspect, how do you reach those niche audiences when they're not in the spaces to do so either? So I feel like they fight that. they kind of fight.
I think
Listen,
From
that
is a
makes
good
sense.
example of being. Yeah, it does. I think From is a good example of a show that's niche to the audience and had a small fan base and grew and grew and grew because of the content was good. So I think your answer is, and the marketing is not just overly dramatic either for that either. So I think if the work is good, then it'll be fine. Just like the first season, remember when we saw American Horror Story for the first time? And then the next season came out, and then it grew and grew. The first couple of seasons, it was like very niche and small. So I think if the work is good, it'll speak for itself, and then the marketing has to do the other piece though.
So Billy's talked about Sensei, which we do bring up, was canceled because of cost and the pandemic, and couldn't come back because they couldn't get the cast back supposedly. But I think also the cost.
They did a movie.
Yeah, I think the cost part is also part of it too. So
That's that's the big chunk.
Right. So like the cost, if you have a show that's, especially when it's fantasy and you're not CGI in every single thing on the screen, and you have like all these different locations to film, it costs a lot, and if it's not making money like they want it, they're very quick to give it a chop the first go around.
Yeah, but I feel like when you have big budget series like that, how do you expecting to recoup that cost is astronomically anyway, because I find it hard to believe that they didn't at least cover some of that budget. I find that really hard to believe because I mean it was doing really well on Netflix.
I don't know because that's one of Netflix's like earlier original streaming outside of what, because the first one was what, Orange is the New Black, and then what was it called? Oh my crap!
Stranger Things.
No, the other one with the guy that was trying to be president. No. There was another one. What's his name?
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey?
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
But was that Netflix? That was
Netflix. Yeah.
Netflix.
That's an original Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn,
what was my point?
Okay.
About
covering the cost.
Yeah, it's all about the cost. They were literally, for artistic reasons, filming in each of those locations. That was the problem. I get it for the first season to sort of establish that, but that probably blew the budget. Was like, oh, this is going to scale out of control. The solution is to narratively figure out a way to get them in one location that was the cheapest of all of them to film in, or just go to Toronto. You can do all the places.
Yeah, get the sound stage and have
do what you need to do to make it happen. But they don't get to see it. Next question is, why does it hurt so bad? Like, what is it about these shows that we love that really hurts us when they get canceled?
I'm so tired of getting invested.
Yeah, so it's the investment.
This is one of those things that like when you you invest yourself in you invest yourself in the characters, right? And they're we know they're not people, but your brain doesn't know that. Like biochemically, you're like, oh, this is an entity that I enjoy. And also, it doesn't help that like if you're part of a fandom, there's like a circle of people that like. I mean, I have a friend who like every week should get together with a bunch of like people from high school, and this is like 10, 15 years after high school. They get together and watch Game of Thrones like every week, and you get to share that thing with those people. And there's like a community that you're building on, like closer, on top of the larger, fandom. And that sucks when you have to give that thing up. And I think, regardless of, what people's opinions of Game of Thrones was at the end, that can't help when things like that fall apart. Like that's not going to help either.
I want to echo that, what you said there. When me and Cadence both lived in Nashville together, we had a community and we did things all the time. When Scream Queens came out, I hosted a full party for Scream Queens. And I mean, gift bags. I mean, the whole 9 yards, like decorations, monograph cups with Scream Queens. Like we did the whole thing.
Yes.
Right. And so like, and that was when American Horror Story came out, when we did a competition who voted was going to be the next Supreme, and people dressed in all black and came. So people do this. And Lucio, you're so right. It's about building community and building a pseudo family of these people who love the same things. And I think that's why when we have those shows about witches and those supernatural type of shows, that brings everybody together for some reason.
Yeah. It is interesting that like there is kind of a chain of, there's a bunch of witch shows happening like in succession, and there's a bunch of vampire shows that happen in succession. I know like a lot of that is like corporate stuff kind of trying to piggyback on someone else's success, but I think also it does say something that like, oh, Timon likes this witch show. There's another witch show that he probably would like too. Like, yeah.
Sure.
And he'll watch it.
He'll watch it.
I will always watch
Redhead in it. He's all in.
Yeah. And would at least give it a couple episodes.
And will a witch show? You say a new witch show is out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll experiment. I'll find out for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rule. 3
episodes. And unfortunately, one of these shows is not on the list called Cameron had a bad experience with it recently. Mayfair Witches. Mayfair.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Luckily, you didn't have to watch it weekly. So
throw her up.
She can't go nowhere. She can't go nowhere. She's part of a bigger picture.
Yeah. She really can't, especially with. Well, I don't know. I want to see how they connect it all with Lestat and all that stuff.
Yeah, she's part of a bigger universe.
So she's safe.
For now.
Canceled. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what I want.
Well, we've been talking about
wasting my time.
We've been tiptoeing around the Netflix, and there was a cool comment earlier that was about Netflix.
Yeah.
Where
are we at?
Billy Berserker, the old Netflix. Yeah, there you go.
Billy said the old network system sucked, but the Netflix model is apparently not working either. I want to talk about that old system as we ease into the Netflix of it all. Okay, so I want to talk about the old network system when we used to have 22 episodes and seasons that take 2 years to come out. And all the things I'm describing sound like good things. So, Billy, I don't know what old thing you were talking about wasn't working, but the new system, and it could be generational. I don't know. I don't have to ask the young people.
I'm floored by the old network system sucks. Like, what do you mean? What are you trying to say, sir? Because
I know the gap between seasons.
I don't feel like I went without lack.
I think we definitely missed that in a way with the shows that we're used to, like the 22 episodes. You only have to wait like the summer.
Next fall, I'll see you.
Yeah. Next fall, I'll see you in September. You're probably done in May. There might have been a little break during the winter season. There's like 4 weeks off. Maybe.
A little mid-season break.
Next September,
right?
I'm gonna see you next September.
Right. Yeah.
No, nothing else.
Right. And then you got your little summer miniseries, the little summer show, summer replacement shows, and then you're good.
Yeah. Some backdoor pilots you gave us, CW, that you ran in the summertime.
Yes.
That you didn't care about when we get back to Vampire Diaries. Oh, no, it was Supernatural.
That was Pirates of Darkwater, man. It was like a, remember that? It was like a really weird, like 1 week season premiere thing. Right? Yeah. It
was one of my favorites growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those things. It's like a random week. Yeah, Pirates of Darkwater.
Pirates of Darkwater with Ren and Tila. We'll talk about
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, we had it on one of our shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
But the old model. Well, go ahead.
No. You got this.
I was saying, the old model for me was perfectly fine. I enjoyed being able to get back into my shows in a timely manner and not have to wait a long periodically time. The writing was still good. Like the writing didn't suffer. The performances didn't suffer to me. Now, I won't say For all shows, most of the shows, the writing didn't suffer. There were some shows
and
that
writer
we will
strikes
certainly be talking about.
and being affected by writer strikes in comparison, in hindsight, wasn't as bad. Whereas we already
Heroes.
got shows. Well, I mean, but even like yes, those shows got affected, and sometimes they got canceled or just didn't renew for that. But like now, if you think of like Euphoria,
Ugh.
like that last season ended probably right before the writer's strike that happened that following summer.
And COVID. And it ended
COVID.
before
Yeah.
COVID.
And then how long has it been since then? I think I've moved at least 2 or 3
4
houses by
years.
this point.
Too damn long.
Euphoria came 4 years ago.
Right. And they still haven't started filming yet. Talking
No,
about
they have
season
not.
3.
Remember, they have to get work. If everybody can't film until January, I'm not going to just wait for them. So you just have to figure it out.
Right. So
And I get like they were trying to, be sensitive to the passing of the young man, which,
yeah.
respect, but you still gotta get this work done, baby. I mean, I get
Honestly,
it.
I don't even think it's
do
really
a
about,
homage. Do a homage.
I don't think it's really even about
move
I think it
on.
was Sam Levinson being on some BS, but that's just me.
That also, for sure. Oh,
I mean, that,
Billy
yeah,
Chesney
I was about to
does.
say. I mean, that could be true. That could very well be true. Oh wow, who said it? We already did that. We already did that.
No, a
for
couple of
So
us
just
did.
do it.
I'm sick of it. You don't run me.
Ricky, you touched on something I thought was important. You were talking about the effects of streaming and in the new work. So that was the second part of Billy's question, is like the new system. Wait, did everybody comment on the old system? Were we good? I'm sorry.
I think we
The
can
old
keep
system is better than what we got now.
Okay.
Period.
All right, next part.
Period.
And the new system, and it was a slow, gradual change, America. Remember that, what I just said. It was a slow, gradual change till we become Hunger Games. I'm sorry, wrong conversation. It was a slow, gradual change until we went from 22 episodes, and then we went to 13 episodes, and then we went to 10 episodes, and now some shows get 6 Supercell on their first debut.
That's nonsense. Yeah.
It's insane. It's a skill of a writer to be able to give a concise story in 6 episodes, right? Especially when you're trained. Well, I'm from a different generation, but you're trained super
That'll
long.
make me so angry, though.
Yeah.
So my thing with
That's a lot of pressure.
My thing with Supercell is that like I feel like a lot of shows that are created in the UK already do really short seasons.
6 episode seasons sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, like that's pretty. I feel like that's pretty normal for UK shows. It's just very hard when it's over here. But like now that's become the norm with streaming, where it's like 10 to 13 episodes. 13 is like your mid-season replacement.
I'm cool with that. That becomes a comfortable
Right.
norm for me. 13.
10 episodes, okay, I understand that. But
Yeah.
it should not take you 2 years to give me another 10 episodes.
No, that's the problem. So
And you got child actors that like have grown like 10 inches by the time you come back to record again.
That's the thing.
Hey, Mom, how's it going?
They're full adults.
Full adults, and you're talking about your first kiss. We're not doing it.
What's her name? Millie Bobby Brown's married and
full married, and she's up here
Full,
trying to be
like-
11, moving stuff. No,
Right.
we're not doing it. Can we also talk about? I know Netflix has altered the success and longevity of shows, but remember, actors no longer want to be pinned down for almost 8 months out of the year to work on one project. The new model allows them to come in for a couple of months, even a couple of weeks, and go to a new project and get more coin. So I get it for sustainability for the guild and for the actors. But as far as the ones who getting the entertainment, run that.
I feel like that only works for certain actors like status, but also like if you're someone that has a TV show and it's a good one, it's a long running one, you're pretty set for a good while. It's one of those,
and you put down roots.
Right.
That's
Like with the exception of like,
Yeah.
the ones that are trying to be movie actors. That like I can see it being beneficial for that, but like if I'm what's her face from Meredith Grey and I gotta do nothing else but show up to the show for 20 seasons.
I'm collecting that check, baby.
yeah.
That check
And that it's
syndication,
getting bigger every year. It's getting
streaming.
bigger every year.
Because guess what? That also
they're
does.
paying you for it.
Guess what that does? I know my calendar. I can plan
Yeah.
vacation trips and all that stuff.
Right.
And I can have a family in Toronto if we need to live over there for 6 months. I
Right.
can have a family. Yep.
Yeah. There was a trend. I think it was the writer director Kevin Smith, the guy who did all the Jay and Silent Bob movies. He was talking about. He's like, it always was weird to me that like they like actors consider like movie actors up here and television actors down here. He's like, the television actors are the ones who are in your house every week. Like you would think these ones, and there is a trend toward like, okay, like this is happening. It's a little more even. I think movies still tend to pay more, but like, I mean, that also like varies because it like if you're married at the Grey, like you're probably set forever, right?
Yeah, you're getting paid per episode.
Yeah, they get paid per. Think about Friends, Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston. They're good. They choose to continue to work.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that is, I think that like that trend like that happened like probably starting to happen before. Or even maybe right around the next
part of the shift. I think it's part of the shift.
I think that is helping that, which is
And what it does also, Lucio, Nicole Kidman just signed a deal with Netflix and Amazon, so she has like 8 projects, television projects that are getting ready to come out. They're all the same type of thing: murder mystery. She's someone rich and famous. Blah blah blah. That's how it works for her. Cool. But that's the thing. She is one of those actresses. She's old Hollywood now at this point. And so she's one of those. Denzel, no, who is that? Will Smith came to Netflix. Charlize Theron is on Netflix. All these bigger names are coming to Netflix so they can come there, make some quick coin, and leave. But we don't want to wait for this new show to come out again, Jamie Foxx, for your season 2, and you don't know what's happening with your life yet.
Yeah, the thing that has bothered me is like that trend toward like you're lucky if you get a 3rd season, because I mean it makes sense. It's like, okay, we got a bunch of people that show up for the show the 1st season, and then some are going to drop off because they forget or they move on to other things or life situation changes. You have less for season 2, and it's going to be less for season 3. But like that's when the show's like, okay, we've got our stride now. We know what we're doing, and then they're like, that is some nonsense.
Yeah, that's because the viewership decreases.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunately.
But it's also when the show's getting better.
Yeah.
Which is never how it worked in the old.
No.
So my thing, the only negative I had for the old way things were done was like, okay, we got the show that's doing well. Now it's Simpsons go to a country. Simpsons go to a country the next episode. Simpsons go to like, then we're like, okay, we're just like trying to like put some new ingredient in the batter to keep this thing going. Like I've always enjoyed when things like, okay, we reached the end of our story. Let's just call it a day.
Charm.
Like, we don't need to be a soap opera that goes on for 400 years. We can just like have our 6 seasons, 8 seasons, and we finish our story, and everyone's happy, and we're done. But that's not how U.S. television works.
I don't know. I feel like with the old model, the thing is you had to be somewhere on a certain day at a certain time to see it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see your show on Friday night that come on at 7 o'clock, I guess where you at? You're at home. Friday night, 7 o'clock.
I sure was.
Sure
now,
was.
You got a little bit more fancy if you had the TiVo, because then you could be like, okay, I'm gonna record it.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna go watch it.
I learned to program my VCR so I could record
it. So stepping off of TiVo, but when live tweeting a show was a major thing, that was, I feel like for me that was peak television. Like Shonda Thursday.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
So like
even go back further, Martin Living Single, Thursdays on Fox was like Martin. What's that show? New York Undercover. All this back to back on that. Living Single, Thursday, all of that.
Right. So like, but I'm thinking like Shonda Thursdays, and like we're sitting there. That was like the probably the last time where like you if you wanted to know and be in the know and keep up and engage and be able to participate in that things like of live tweeting and keeping up with the show, you had to watch it that night. Doing TiVo wasn't as enjoyable if you gotta wait, if you have to see spoilers from everybody talking about the show, because they were talking like Twitter, like that was my peak Twitter time, was Shonda Thursday was a thing, and like I had to be there. I didn't necessarily care for Grey's for that much. I was watching Vampire Diaries first, then Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. Period. And like that was a thing.
And that would be the point where most people would have those little watch parties, because they're like, all right, well, no, we're not trying to go out, but y'all bring some bottles, I'm gonna get some food, and we watch the show at the house, and then we can go out after.
Don't forget going hunting for those extra large wine glasses to be like
right,
be like Olivia and get popcorn. Yep, all of that.
Right. Along the same lines, it is kind of cool to be like, okay, I can't go on Twitter for the next 3 hours because I won't be home to watch my show until then. Then I can get like having to avoid a space so that you can like enjoy your show too. That's kind of cool.
That still happens though.
But
it's not the
whole reason
when someone drops, oh, season 6 is out. Let's be honest. Season 2 is out. All 8 episodes are out now on Netflix. Like that's kind of a bummer.
And then everybody just immediately the people that have watched ahead of the curve, they watch it and trying to comment. But I feel like to say is that is a part of the turning point where when you add those different factors of accessibility in, they have to change how they're quantifying whether a show is successful or not. Have they got the master key? No, they do not. They still have the problem.
We're geeking out to what's supposed to.
Yep. Hey, Billy, do you want to fight today?
Pull up, Billy.
You want to squabble up?
No, yeah, Billy's a long time viewer.
Billy, I'm with you. Sometimes I don't pay attention to the show.
But because of the way that accessibility has changed, I think that's a part of what has affected the length of the shows. And it's like, it makes sense, but it does suck for the consumer how they view the numbers at this point and how they quantify.
I think that this is a decision they made, right? Like this is their own problem they created. And part of it is like, you can't go, oh, here's Lovecraft Country sponsored by Double Mint Gum. Like that's not a thing anymore. So what are they hoping? Like they're hoping for merchandising, or they're hoping for like what else is there? Like just merchandising?
Award season.
But like they don't care about the seasons. They literally don't care about the seasons. They just care about people coming back to watch, just to be on their thing. They don't, they honestly don't even care about people watching the show. They care about if they put Lovecraft Country on and everyone's like, I don't need to watch the show, but I'm gonna renew my subscription. I'm going to encourage my friends to join. They wouldn't care. They'd be like, cool, like that did it for us. That's how their metrics work. That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, it's no longer about it's no longer about views. It's no longer about ratings. It's about views.
Yeah. But they don't care about the views. They care about
how many subscriptions. Like how many people are paying to have the service.
Yeah.
Not even to watch the stuff, just to have the service.
Yeah.
There's a small misconception there. There's a small misconception there, because what I've discovered, what I read, is that they're actually basing it on how many people start and how many people finish a season.
Ooh.
So if you have a large amount of people that start a season of a show, and then by the end a minimum amount of that is not watched finishing, then why are they going to put more money into it?
Exactly.
Or vice versa, if you have a show that starts off with a small audience and then grows, those are the shows, if you think about it, that we tend to see get renewed either mid-season or at the end of the run. But if they end with a large number of people who have watched the show and are talking about the show, and yes, new subscriptions may come from that because people want to see it,
right?
But that's not their primary.
Great show. Great show.
How do we explain shows like that get renewed for the next season before it even lands? So I think a part of this has to be about the conversations with managed leadership about what this show is, because yes, the executive producers report up, right, and they let them know like this is the story, but the people they do understand what's all the programming that they have. They're not out of the picture at all. They're not far removed.
For sure.
So if they know like, oh, this is a hit already, you know when you got something good. When a cast, a certain cast and creative team is put together, you know when something's good. And then of course they do screeners as well to help determine that. And like you mentioned something earlier, Cam, where people don't get this, they get to see it earlier or something like that. I've heard and that's how, and that's changed the culture too, because like not Willow, but like Lucio said, I saw Willow, but
yeah,
like Lucio said, people love that stuff as soon as it drops.
Yeah.
But what are some of those shows that Netflix that we love so much that didn't get to, live? Cadence, can you tell us this wonderful list of things?
Hold on.
We're trying to read Jeremy Bearmy's.
Sorry, I am.
Here, I'll vamp. No, what? I mean, come on to the thing you said though. Like, we know the money people don't always know what they're like. Oh, we got this great cast and we got these great writers. That doesn't always work out. Like, you can have the best writers and the best actors, and sometimes and they'll put all their money behind it, and that show gets one season, and they're like, yeah. Or like, honestly, any of the shows behind us.
Oh, like, true. Because I haven't seen Firefly, so whatever. But Willow,
dare you, sir?
Willow, and not because I was just a fan of the beginning. We're not even there yet. Never mind. Cam, will you tell us about, or did you have something you wanted to read or something?
Oh, about the I was reading Jeremy Bearimy before you would put me into the talking about Netflix. Am I talking about the shows themselves, or am I talking about what I discovered?
All of it.
Oh, okay. So in regards to just the numbers when it comes to network or streaming services that actually cancels the most shows within the last year, so within that 2003 year, I don't think they have data from this year. I haven't, or at least I haven't found it. The highest was Max, HBO Max, and they were at 26.9%, surpassing Netflix by far.
So let's see,
Netflix by far.
That was Original Sin, Pretty Little Liars. That was the new reincarnation of Gossip Girl. That was Rap Ship with Issa Rae. Issa Rae wrote that one.
Legendary.
Something else.
Tight.
Titans,
I mean, it's a whole Cartoon Network catalog, because they started selling off parts of the entities that they merged into themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of merger stuff going on that I'm pretty sure messed that up.
Yeah, so that it did inflate their numbers, but at the same token, even if you take that out, we know that there were a lot of original shows from Max that are not coming back, that were canceled last year. And so despite Netflix's reputation for canceling shows, it actually ranked 5th on the cancellation rate at 10.2%. Disney Plus, Paramount, and Hulu had higher rates. And again, those services were also doing a lot of acquiring and selling off.
Tons of that. That's
within the past year. It is a very huge part of it. And I don't understand what they're doing when they reorganize their catalog of shows, especially when it's messing up access. And it's actually starting to get irritating when you see shows that are on Hulu now transferred to Netflix, and shows that were on Netflix transferring to Hulu, but they're not necessarily connected. And it's just like, y'all are just selling each other the licenses for these shows. It's a little crazy. But anyway,
it's show trafficking.
It's pretty damn certainly. Let me see here.
Were you shocked by any? Is there one thing in your research that you were most shocked by?
I mean, I was shocked because the perception is in general that Netflix is the higher perpetrator.
Yeah.
So finding out that they're fit, meaning they're pale in comparison to the more fresher services. And because Netflix, I mean, honestly, you got to call Netflix an OG. Netflix is an OG.
Yes,
It
it's
is.
Netflix,
It is.
the OG. Right. So like they started it, they kicked it off. Okay, and so to find out that and I know that we did see an influx in their cancellations for a moment, but to know that they've kind of tried to rein that in was actually kind of shocking because we start not to think about a lot of Netflix shows, but they've done a lot of cool things kind of with their service, with including games and stuff. Like they're always trying to innovate. Yeah, they're always trying to innovate another way to add value to what they have, because we know a lot of the things that they've introduced, from adding ads, which has been an annoying part, but they did that because of the whole password sharing and restriction thing, but they still found a way to restrict.
Y'all can't do right. Y'all can't do right. You can't have 10 people.
If my papa wants to watch some Netflix all the way in Indiana, I'm gonna send him my password.
And
Netflix
go get it, and then the nephew go get it, and then TT go get it, and now 10 people got one password.
He's not gonna remember the password anyway, because I'm gonna log him in the next time I go visit him.
And log you out. See you. Bye.
There's a very convenient disconnect everyone button on your Netflix account. Just give it to your grandfather, or just anyone else signs on. Just bloop bloop bloop.
Yeah,
the first thing you call them up, and then you do it while they're watching their show.
Did you take my Netflix password?
and that's why I get putting like a limit on how many profiles you can have, but it shouldn't restrict where you can use those profiles at. So that's one thing about Netflix's model that I don't really care for. If I got too many people, then I should be able to rotate the profiles out. And if my partner takes a trip and they want to watch Netflix and I'm at home, we should be able to watch Netflix, but you want me to pay extra to watch it on 2 different screens, but we in the same household. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was honestly the most surprising thing, but it made sense when you take into account that these younger services have done a lot of merging and buying the rights to certain shows and whatnot, and they vaulted some of their decisions don't make the most sense, especially when there's certain shows that we would love to see on a streaming service that unfortunately we probably never will.
No, and I mean, going all the way back to the canceling shows for tax write-offs, like that's some nonsense when they're like, oh, there's a show that we made that we cost us X amount of money, but we're not going to make that much. So we're just going to say, or we're not going to make, let's be honest, they're going to make the money back or pretty close. And they're going to be like, oh, we only made like 6 million more instead of 20 million more. We're going to cancel that and we'll just get all that money back. We'll be fine. That's some nonsense.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It really is. I'm still upset about that. Granted, it got pushed to, like, the Rise of the Pink Ladies got pushed to Apple TV. Definitely purchased that for me to watch. But like, even like if you think about like Warner Brothers and Max and HBO, they've been going through some mess for the last like 2 or 3 years with all their mergers. So like they weren't not only doing it with shows, but they were doing it with movies. Mm-hmm. Cough cough Batgirl, but whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, wasn't there a movie that didn't get released that they actually had finished filming?
Batgirl.
Was it Batwoman? Batgirl? Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, Batwoman.
Yes, Batwoman.
The movie is Batgirl, but Batwoman was also canceled.
Yes, that too.
Yes, it was. And
Batgirl is the perfect example. Oh yeah, I said it. But Lucia, to your point, Batgirl is the perfect example of a tax write-off.
Yeah.
How dare you? It was 85% done, and you had Michael Keaton signed.
And like people were actually excited about it,
It
and
was
like
laughable.
like the people were actually excited about it, but you decided to cancel it. And like I think it did favorably in some of their
They fixed all the things. It was
yes,
done. It
like
was
you were
done.
gonna push the Flash instead, but okay.
I think it also the DC's new future was on the horizon, and so why add more to the flame if it's all going to be burned?
Because just wrap it up. Just wrap it up.
The best way you can.
Wasn't there
You already.
John Cena
You didn't
Looney
necessarily
Tunes?
waste these people's time.
Huh?
Wasn't there a John Cena Looney
What?
Tunes movie that got canned the same way?
I think there was another Looney Tunes. It was like I think that one was either like Roadrunner or something like that.
It was. I found it. It was Coyote versus Acme with Will
Yes.
Forte as the prosecution, like a legal drama. That looks amazing. It looks so good.
Whoa.
They canceled
Also,
it.
that
and-
that's when they nixed that one too because they
yeah, that's
finished
some
that one.
garbage. That sounds amazing. No one's ever
It's
going to see it.
ridiculous. And I think it's ridiculous to, even though these people didn't necessarily waste their time because they, of course, were compensated. They are not compensated. I don't think they're compensated nearly as much as they potentially could have been had you aired the show and or movie.
Yeah. Also, like you do it like a lot of these people like are in a position in their careers where they're either, oh, this is just a feather in my cap, or this is the thing that's going to launch me into my next thing. Like that like all that's gone.
Yeah.
And it also feels like it makes it harder for actors and actresses to fully commit to a role with the way the model is set up. Like if you're not just at your core that kind of actor or actress that's just like, yeah, I'm going in here to give the best performance of my life no matter what role it is.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not your core, then when you see this person in this role, you're just like, I didn't really care for them in that role. They didn't sell it. They didn't sell it to me.
It's just like any other thing. I need to work. So I may do this movie and I may not be the best fit for it, but sure, here I am. I need a check.
And that's a difference when you have people who see your vision, get the writing, and are just like
synergy.
I'm gonna work with this. And Lovecraft Country is one of them.
I was just thinking that synergy.
I never would have. You couldn't tell me this show was going to do what it did. You would not have been able to. I would have been like, what? What do you mean? Why would? No way. The acting, the writing, the visuals to that show.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Perfection. Pure perfection.
Also, I think. Also, what's also messing up Max as well, because of the stuff that went down with Cartoon Network. So, like all those cartoon artists, like they've shut down Hanna-Barbera, that whole Cartoon Network like facility. So, like, what's going on with that now? Like, those are some really classic shows that were kind of put to the wayside.
Mm-hmm. For sure, and it's sad because whenever a lot of us just kind of want to find that our comfort shows or the things that kind of take us to that state of just childlike joy where we can really unpack and kind of become desensitized, we kind of lose access to that. We got to go try to find it on some random dark website.
Look, I can't watch. Like, why can't I not watch Steven Universe on Max anymore? I have to go back to Hulu.
Because they're disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespectful.
Crazy.
You got to find out where your bookmarks are. They don't transfer over.
Ugh.
And if you want to watch it on your TV, like I shouldn't have to connect my laptop to my TV just to get the feel that I'm looking for.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Speaking of that, the CW's app trying to watch anything on it should be destroyed and burned. It's the worst platform I've ever experienced in 2024.
I remember what we were watching. We were watching
Dollhouse this season.
Dollhouse. Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Your episodes are like 45 minutes long. It takes me like an hour 45 to watch your show because there's so many commercials, and then it freezes and crashes.
Freezing and crashing. If you come back into it, it won't even put you at your right place. If you're like, you got to remember what episode. It's just too much. that whole network,
Mhm.
this is an episode in itself. The rise and fall of CW.
It really is
The fall and fall of CW. Get out.
We talked about that like a couple years ago, like the non money making of CW.
All the things. But yes,
Correct.
the Netflix of it all, they have definitely been, like you said, leaders in transforming what the how we receive and enjoy entertainment. I'll say in the last 10 years, they have shifted it substantially to where everyone is starting to give us 10 episodes and 6 episodes and all the things that stresses us out, right? Somebody, I think you said 22 episodes left room for filler episodes. And if you've ever watched American Horror Story, who's 13 episodes, you'll know what a filler episode is because a lot of it is filler.
So like there are pros and cons to that because yes, filler episodes, but sometimes those filler episodes are okay. Like those are necessary. But also when they have shorter seasons, like you have to get your story out there in a way that's cohesive in that short amount of time, or it's a waste. Because how many shows have we talked about in this last year, Taman, where the show was only 10 to 13 episodes, and you're like, okay, they only got 2 more weeks left, and they ain't giving what I want them to give yet.
Yeah, From was one of them. You know, it was like a 6-7-3 or 6-4 as far as like good non-filler versus filler, but it's still too many episodes. With 22 episodes, we can have just one episode of Charm where they go back in the past on Halloween.
Pretty Little Liars Summer School.
Or Summer School. We can have an overall, it doesn't impact overall story arc, just a standalone. Buffy has several of standalone episodes like that.
Right, but and the thing is with Buffy, like some of those standalone episodes were kind of classics.
Probably the best ones. The best one has nothing story arc.
And even if you want to call character development episodes fillers, sure, whatever, but a lot of times when you got that, you really got to connect with another character that you may not have
honestly
about.
So back to Buffy though, like one would be I technically I feel like The Body's a filler episode.
Oh my god.
That's one of the best episodes it has.
So right at the cusp of like when Netflix was like transitioning to doing their streaming stuff, Avatar: The Last Airbender had like the traditional season length, and they had some crazy, like you have your recap episode, or your filler episode, Emerald Isle Players, which is where they have the episode. I'm hoping everyone's seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series.
Yes.
That filler episode, Emerald Isle, no, it's the Tales from Ba Sing Se, where they have those snippets of like Sokka doing his haiku thing, and like, but then they have this like super devastatingly moving bit about like when they lost the voice actor, but it's Uncle Iroh going through like just spending a day making everyone's life better, and then at the end you realize like, oh, he's dealing with the loss of his son, and that whole episode was dedicated to the voice actor who passed away. And then you also have like something amazing, which is that their Emerald Isle Players, which is their recap episode, and it's all the main characters go and watch a play of an interpretation of everything they've done, and it's ridiculous and over the top, but it does that thing that needs to happen right before the end of the series. Super brilliant.
Lightens the mood.
Any holiday episode from the shows that we love are gonna is a filler episode. Right. But I agree, Kim, you're so right, and maybe it triggered a thought. Like, is it harder to create meaningful characters with 22 episodes versus 13? And I think it's about the skill of the writer, honestly. So
absolutely.
So
that's what I was gonna say too. That point about that leaves room for filler episodes and whatnot. Yes, it does. But if you're a great writer, those episodes will mean something. You're going to tell a narrative that's going to grow the lore of the world that you've built, or grow the connection to the characters and how they relate to each other and how they're healing, and make them more relatable. If you write that way, it's amazing.
Counter to that though, I think that if you have a longer season, like you can have a misstep and it's okay. You can, like when we were watching Agatha, like there's several episodes where we're like, come on, like
the first 2, sure.
Yeah. And like if you have a misstep in a 6-8 season episode, you're done. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
And like I think that it's I like having room to breathe in a show. I like it if, oh man, I missed an episode. It's okay. Like if I miss an episode of an 8-season, like you can't. You just can't. And admittedly now it's streaming, so I can just have it on command, which is, for good or ill. But like when it doesn't, I think it's okay to have space to make a couple mistakes. I think that's all right when it comes to writing. Like you can have great writing in an episode that's not a good appropriate show episode. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
If your season's long enough, that's okay.
If it's long enough. But the skill is like, even if it's short, right? You can have a filler episode, but everything needs to be intentional and mean something later on. So in this filler episode, about us going on a date, and you find out that I'm allergic to peanuts, if I need to have something with my allergy by the end of this season, that means something.
Yeah.
So it's about how do you connect all the things. But the problem is we don't often get that with filler episodes when you get 13 episodes. So
yeah.
Well, so Ricky mentioned Steven Universe a moment ago. Each season of Steven Universe is like 10,000 episodes, but the episodes are only 15 minutes long.
Yes.
But you get this really interesting thing that happens where you have this like, oh, this episode doesn't mean anything. It's 15 minutes of just like people wandering and talking and like just being people. And then there's some devastating clue that happens right at the last 2 minutes of the episode. Like,
yes, especially after that first season. Like that first season, like you wouldn't think anything's connected at all. You would think it's like a regular cartoon where nothing's truly connected. And then season 2 starts and like, oh wait, all these things, like even like little stuff here and there.
Yeah. Everything mattered.
Yeah.
Yes. I missed that show.
Yeah. I
watched Hulu now, so you have any bookmarks.
Yeah, look, I'm probably gonna watch later. Don't judge, okay?
You had me watching that last year for Geeking Out, and
I sure did.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Cam, the Netflix of it all. Tell us about some of the shows that we love, hate, all the things that were on Netflix.
All right, so we have to start us off. We've got Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
The Teenage or the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
Chilling Adventures.
Well, I'm sorry, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Sorry, my apologies.
Now,
the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
For those watching, when we had our meeting about this list, which is a very long list, so get prepared.
I think it's 60 something.
I suggested this one only for, because it should have been canceled, right? I put this one on the list only to show what, when you know that it's not going to be renewed, how the dip in the quality of writing happens. When we figured out that Sabrina wasn't going to be renewed, that last season was nothing. It was nothing. I mean, it had some pretty cool things. We got to see our two faves, Prudence and Ambrose. Cool things together and develop their characters really well, but they just didn't stick the landing, and you can tell that happened because they were just trying to wrap it up really quickly. So I only brought that up on this list, Cam, for that reason and that reason alone.
I'm willing to bet that's writers getting ready to jump ship. They're like, I'm writing right now, but I'm also like looking next February or whatever when I need to be getting my next stuff done.
I'm already outlining for this new gig. I have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't think they expected it to really be what it became. Honestly, I think that's honestly what it's going down to. I don't think they expected it to be so popular and make such a get kind of like I guess you kind of say a little cult following of sorts.
Yeah, it was a big splash. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. October Faction. October Faction for me. Huh?
Oh, I thought. Do we have pictures for this?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
that's fine.
No, okay. October Faction for me. I was kind of about the show because the writing wasn't as strong anyway, but it had good bones, but the meat was not great.
Can you give us a 6-second rundown of October Faction for those who have not watched it?
Okay, you're gonna have to let me. So it deals with these siblings of sorts. Hold on, let me see here.
Oh,
yeah, I gotta go back to this. So it's a monster hunting couple and their twin teenage children getting involved in monster hunting. And let me see. So the father, Fred's father, dies. The couple, his father dies, Samuel, and the family decides to go back to their home in Barrington, New York, arrange the funeral, and they come across these haunted childhood memories of death and arguments with the parents and inadequacy with women and all these different things, and how Fred doesn't really want to be there anymore. That part to me was convoluted. The most important part is about the secret organization, which is considered out of faction, who protect humanity from various breeds of monsters. They have to hide their identities from the townsfolk and appear to live a normal life. But that kind of proves hard because things start to happen in the little town that leads to some exposure here and there.
Yeah.
So it's basically the struggles of managing that as a monster hunting fan.
Yeah, I remember enjoying this show as it grew. Because what I remember, it was the core family with the twins, and then the older generation above them, which was his father and his mother and them, they ran the organization. But the biggest thing was about the twins, because you found out, spoiler alert, that the twins do not actually belong to them and they're witches and all these things. It got chopped. I think it needed another season. Check out October Faction if you have not.
I might have to.
What a
That sounds
weird
good.
thing to have to recommend a thing that you know people are gonna be upset about at the end. It's like, oh, I wish there was more. I wish there was more. It's how I feel about this every single time.
So, Lucio, that brings up the age-old question: whether to love or lost or lost.
To love to lost,
Is it
or
better
better than
Is it better to
lost?
Love that lost, or better not
The
to
never love at all.
Just what I said. Just what I was thinking.
Just what
Just what I said. So that.
Yep, I heard it 100%. Let's roll back
Thank
the
you.
tape.
What we got next, Pam?
Blah, 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 blah.
Next was Sense 8.
We don't have to talk about
And
it.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen Sense8, it's a group of people around the world who are linked mentally and must find a way to survive being hunted by those who see them as a threat to the world's order. And it is just this show was absolutely amazing.
I think it's before its time.
To me, oh my god, like nothing ever like this in anything that I ever could have imagined when I watched that show. And I was just
the casting, the creativity, and the emotional beats that it had, because spoiler alert, there's all these people are born at the same time, right? And they share consciousness. So like if I know how to build a bomb and Lucio knows Kung Fu and Cam knows a mathematician, at any moment I need to use those abilities. It's like you switch spots with me and do whatever that task is visually. That's how they paint that picture. So it's beautiful. But the thing I love the most is how they explained losing someone in your circle. And it was like, have you ever
that's really
shared a mind with since day one? And so the grieving process destroyed a previous cluster, and it sort of pushed the events of what Sensei is now. It's so great. Go watch it. I think I want to do a rewatch, and they have great origins.
Yeah.
So
I have not seen that. That sounds really, really interesting.
Lucio, if you go watch it and you like it, we'll do a review of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you haven't seen it? It's a great love letter to the concept and the understanding of human connection. Honestly.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a beautiful. It is just okay.
How many?
It's happening. Lucio's
2
first
seasons.
watch.
How many episodes is this?
2 seasons of 24 episodes total,
and a Christmas special.
And a Christmas special, yeah.
All right, so y'all heard it here first.
Didn't they wrap it up?
I think the Christmas special was the wrap up. I think the Christmas special was the wrap up.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm remembering. Okay.
But we'll talk more about that when we do our Sensei Lucio's first.
Real quick, going back to holiday episodes, like with the longer seasons, I really enjoyed those because a lot of times you get to they do really weird stuff. Like if you remember Family Matters had their Stevel and Carlsbad, like the puppets. Like you would never be able to do that now. It's so good.
When Buffy was literally right, or no, she was like a damsel, and then whatever your costume was, you became that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Willow became a ghost, and Buffy was like this damsel, and that was, I think, maybe our first time seeing her playing that type of role. And then
Right.
here comes I Know She Did Last Summer, so she was just like,
Yeah. And
she was so great in that. Xander was good in that too.
Xander becomes like a military dude.
Yeah.
He retained some of that knowledge.
Plays forward
Mhm.
later
Right.
in the seasons.
Yep. They missed the point to
Yeah.
sort of leave that with him to
Mhm.
make his character even bigger than what it was. In the comics, he becomes like Nick Fury anyway. So
Mhm.
it would have been a great starting point.
The comics, but okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. He does. He's missing an eye still, so
And he marries Dawn, but okay.
he does, and it's weird. But anyway,
Yeah.
That is very weird, actually.
It's
But
very weird.
anyway, Winx Saga. Of course, that was based off. It was Fate, the Winx Saga.
yeah.
Of course, based off of the animated series. I don't
Mhm.
really know what
My
much
my
more to say about
daughters
it.
love that
It had
show.
to do. Yeah, and
Good. It was good.
I don't know what happened with
it-
the yeah. Anyway,
yeah. So a fairy, Bloom is a fairy with fire powers. She was separated, I guess, kind of like from her lineage, her heritage, or whatever. But then she gets
Thank you, Jeremy.
pulled into the magical boarding school in the other world called Althea. Shares a suite with the girl who's a light fairy, Aisha, and then the water fairy, and the earth fairy, and the mind fairy. And that kind of speaks to the core of their magical ability as the fairy, self-explanatory. And then with the help of friends, she starts to learn more about her past and ancient creatures called burn ones that return and try to, destroy all things. There's a big conspiracy about it. Unfortunately, I don't feel like the story got wrapped up, if I recall correctly. I don't feel like they really did a real solid ending to the main plot. I think they just wrapped up a lot of subplots, if I recall correctly.
I think so too. I was excited after season one because how season one ended with that surprise murder, and it picked up how I thought. I don't understand why this show was canceled. Yes, the writing could have been slightly tighter in the second season because they was expanding and doing some other different things.
that's good.
But it shouldn't have been canceled. So Fate Winx is getting a graphic novel continuation. That's nice. Yeah.
I like when this happens. That's I mentioned Carnival. That happened with Carnival. I think Firefly got some of that treatment too.
Charmed, Buffy, Angel, Blade, they all have continuations from their source material. Or
TV, movies and TV. I think it was Fate. I think it was the writing started to. Oh no, that definitely had to do with the audience drop, and it probably also had to do with cost because I'm sure that show was rather expensive.
That was like prime COVID time, wasn't it?
It was happening. COVID was on its way. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was around that time.
I can get how that could be when the show is down. All right, what we got next?
Oh, it came out in 2021. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's right in front of it. Yeah. So and which is odd because you would think that the viewership would have been 5, but anyway, the bastard son of the devil himself. Now I do think that could have gotten a second season because I mean,
can I give an overview of this, Cam?
Go ahead.
So this one is really unique. It's and not just in the premise, but also how the power sets of this world works. So it's about this biracial kid who we found out whose father is notorious in the witch community for being a witch killer, and he.
Did he freeze? He froze on my screen.
He did freeze. Yeah, he
so
froze
like
on my screen too.
What they call him, and so he is. Oh, is it me?
Run it back because
he froze for a second.
Yeah, you froze.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So it's about this biracial kid, and we find out that he is the son of this notorious killer / witch in the witch community. He kills other witches and absorbs their powers by eating their hearts. And he has a certain a name. They call them a blood witch. Yeah, a blood witch. And so blood witches, they can hear your heart beating. So if you start getting these symptoms, right, they start to persecute you as a blood witch. So this story is all about how can we make this person who is destined to be bad like his father. How do we make sure he doesn't turn that way? Well, you don't try to chase him and capture him. And that's what they try to do. They train him, then they get rid of him. They try to make him great. It's a great story. The magical system is cool because you can't get your magic in this story unless you get the blood of someone in your bloodline.
Mhm.
And his mother is dead and his father is missing. So I think it's your 16th birthday. And if you don't have it by the end of the day, you die. So like it's a whole cool penalty involved in what's happening. Great, check it out. It's based off of a YA novel. Go check it out. It's great. The guy who played Drake, something blank Drake. No, Timothy Drake. He was a Robin in Titans.
Okay, yeah.
He's one of the Robins in Titans.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and the next one is the OA. I'm probably the only one who's seen this show, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The OA, I didn't love it when I first watched it, but it was good enough for it to be renewed. OA stands for the Original Angel, and it's about this girl who can travel through different multiverses. That's all I know. We didn't get further than that. It was 2 seasons, and it's the same group of people, and she teaches them this choreography and this dance, and it allows them to transcend. Maybe it should have been canceled. Sorry.
That last part kind of
yeah.
What?
Yeah. And next
would be next is Dead Boy Detectives. And this series follows ghosts of Charles, Roland, and Edwin Payne who decide not to go to the afterlife, and instead they stay on Earth to investigate crimes involving the supernatural. They use this young woman as a medium of sorts, and they kind of just go exactly how it is. They go on a journey. It is a part of a bigger universe for Sandman and that series that also was on Netflix. It is kind of like
that's renewed.
It's in that same universe. That is renewed. Yes, so it's in that same universe. Yeah. So yeah, and she, the young woman who was deaf in Sandman, did reprise her role in the series because, of course, she needs to collect these motherfuckers. So
yes, phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was. Every episode was great. The acting was great. The main girl character, she has powers, right? And they didn't play about letting us know how they work, how she gets them. It just grew organically. I hope everyone's seen this, but if not, check this out. It is super good.
I did watch it, but I probably have to go back because I didn't finish it.
Oh, it's good. Lucio, did you see this one?
What was this one again?
Dead Boy Detectives.
No, that was one of those. One of those that was on my list, and then it got canceled. I was like, no, never mind.
Right. Sorry, but it's a really good watch, so I don't want to set you up for that. But and the next one is Cursed. Cursed was also on Netflix. Cursed is the story of Arthur, but from the Lady in the Lake's perspective. So, but we know her as Nimue, which, you know, if you've read other things, you know that's her name. And she is part of this tribe of magical users. And we find out that she is selected to be like the supreme, in other words, of her clan. But she is marked by demon blood because she was attacked as a kid. So her powers are stronger and darker. She can do all these different things. And we find out that we meet Arthur, who's this black guy, really charming, great. We meet Merlin is a huge part of this story. He is actually powerless due to something that he sacrificed, which you find out. We meet another Lady Death, and we also meet another slew of people from the Arthurian stories. So check that one out. It was really good. It got canceled. I can't believe it got canceled, but it was actually.
Oh wow! God.
Oh gosh! Yeah. Wake up, y'all. Take a drink.
No.
And the last one from Netflix is one of Ricky's favorites, Julie and the Phantoms. Julie and the
Phantoms. Yes. Okay. So Julie and the Phantoms is it's a remake of I think a Brazilian show But it's directed by Kenny Ortega. So if you know Kenny Ortega, directed the Thriller, Michael Jackson's music video, Hocus Pocus, High School Musical, a lot of like your favorite Disney Channel musicals. Kenny Ortega, a girl who is kind of losing her passion of music. She's in art school. Her mom passed away a couple years prior, and she looks through her mom's stuff and then kind of gets like introduced to this band that's a ghost. Like they're dead. They died probably like 10 years prior, and they somehow form a band together. So this living girl and these three dead guys form a band, and the music's great. It ended on a cliffhanger, which was really obnoxious. And maybe because I feel like my TikTok is kind of like a vacuum. Like I find so many people that like love the show and we're waiting for a season 2, and we waited for a good year or two to find out whether or not it was going to have a season 2, only to find out that Netflix decided to cancel it for whatever reason. Like we were upset. I was upset because I loved it. My kids loved it. We listened to the soundtrack all the time, and it was a great show.
It sounds like if they canceled the second half of Wicked, and everybody, that's how disappointed you were.
Right. But honestly and truly.
Don't say that. That's movie theaters catching on fire.
This world would implode.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
What Wicked made how much now?
A lot.
All the money. They own all the money.
More than their budget. More than their budget.
I think it's
King Bobby, hey.
It's on its way to making more than Mamma Mia's. And that's just part 1.
Yikes.
Hello.
And on that note, we're going to go to a nice commercial. And when we come back, we're going to run this thing on home, and we're going to go over our list of shows that should have been revived.
Or it was justified.
Justified.
Aired its series finale this week, and the numbers on this franchise are just astounding. It's time to pour one out for the Arrowverse, an unprecedented and historic television saga of interconnected DC superhero shows that aired on the CW from October 2012 to December 2024. 53 days total.
What was that? Oh,
I said cancel so we can take a sip.
Oh, God. Okay.
To pour out for the CW universe. This is heartbreaking.
You know, yeah.
Shepherded mostly by mega producer Greg Berlanti, the Arrowverse finally came to an end on Monday when Superman and Lois aired its series finale after 4 seasons. Hollywood Reporter tallied up these truly impressive numbers of the Arrowverse. In total, there were 10 shows: Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman and Lois, Gotham Knights, and Naomi. Together, they combined to 46 total seasons of television and 817 total episodes. The 6 core Arrowverse shows, Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, and Batwoman, aired 699 of those total 817 episodes. There are only 3 TV drama franchises in history that have more episodes: CSI with 838, NCIS with 1,249, and Law & Order with 1,363 and counting. Berlanti and Company executed 6 crossover events total, including 2019's Crisis on Infinite Earths, which spanned 5 different TV shows. Comic book television seems to have grown up since 2012, as Marvel and DC's movie studios now hold a much closer grip on the television output. But Berlanti and everyone else involved in the Arrowverse deserves a ton of respect for this massive undertaking, and it's unlikely we'll see anything like it ever again.
Amen.
And we're back.
Amen. Sad to see them go. Sad to see them go.
I think that's definitely like an end of an era, because like that is definitely like a completely different thing where you can watch those shows on network television and then get to catch up for like on your shows on Netflix or whatever streaming site it's on. I mean, that's like they don't do those shows like that anymore. Not like that.
No, and I didn't think about it till what he said. And shout out to this TikToker for this video and
Pop Culture Brain. Yeah.
Pop Culture Brain. We'll put your stuff in here somewhere. they really was running things for a minute when it comes to like superheroes stuff and television. That is a huge accomplishment to have that many shows, that many hours, that many diverse stories and characters and from source. That's impressive. So
Mhm.
they definitely deserve their kudos for that. But we couldn't talk about canceling the show and not talk about that impact.
They need to bring him on. They need to bring him on board for the movies, for the movie universe, for the cinematic universe. Because
Which one?
Even though Mr. Berlin,
Berlanti.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because even if I didn't watch certain shows or didn't care for certain shows, the fact that he was still able to connect them and it made sense, like he was telling true to form comic book stories
Mm-hmm.
on TV regularly.
Yeah.
And some lasted longer than others. And I really want justice for Naomi, but we're not going to talk about that. They did not do her right. They did not do her right at all, and I don't appreciate it. But
was that like also like on the tail end of things, like where the tail end of the CW?
It was actually right before Superman and Lois.
Yeah, it was like when Stargirl came out, like Stargirl was pushed further. I didn't personally go up for Naomi, but I will support it for all the reasons.
Yeah, those last couple like shows, they were in a weird space because of like where the CW was, and then like you can kind of pull like Max into that, and like then Warner Brothers and them. It was in a weird space, and it's surprising that some of those shows even like made it that far.
Yeah. And they tried to do the whole Tom Swift about the same time, and they just were not treating. They were not treating the black-led shows the best when it came to the superheroes. Because even Black Lightning, for the most part, Black Lightning was good. But that towards the end, they started trying to just mishandle it a little bit, and I was like, all right, now y'all gotta land this plane because
it's over.
Y'all doing too much. Trying to get a backdoor pilot for Painkiller, and trying to get a backdoor pilot for
the sisters,
Thunder and Lightning. Slow down, first of all, and do it right.
Right.
Second of all, but they did a great job with that universe. I mean, I have to say for television, I mean, The Flash, I was committed to that even when it started to get nonsensical. Which that's one that probably could have been canceled a little earlier on before it started to sour. Yeah. So that's my spiel on CW universe heroes.
Yeah. Ooh, let's go on.
All right, so yes, we're about to kick off a real quick little game for Revive or Justified. So we're going to name off some shows, and then we're going to throw up a couple images. If you are in the comment section, if you can for us, put a thumbs up for Revive and put a thumbs down for Justified.
Yes, and keep in mind that and this list is we've kind of always like how we felt about these shows. So some of them have been labeled as already revived or justified. But if you disagree with us, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. All right, starting off with Carnival. This is a Lucio fave right here.
Yeah. Do we want a quick rundown?
That's 6 seconds. Run it.
Okay, so it's like Dust Bowl era, a lot of sepia tone like pictures, but basically it's like a very like Christian theme, but there's like a fight between good and evil, and you're not sure who's good and who's evil, and it takes place in this carnival with all these like inappropriate phrase now, but circus freaks, and it's just like there's so many moving parts and a lot of really weird stuff going on, time travel and bloodlines and all this really cool stuff.
Is
gotten big. It was on HBO originally.
Yeah. Is there a fairy in this show?
No fairies. That's the Carnival Row, I think is the one you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, with Cara Delevingne. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, this one's tends like a slow burn, tends to be darker themes. It was 2 seasons, and I think they did a carnival or comic book series thing afterwards, but it was supposed to be 6 seasons.
And how many seasons did it
2. Got 2.
get? Well, all right. If y'all out there, drop a thumbs up, a quick thumbs up, thumbs down if you've seen this show, Revive or Justify. I don't have no dog in this fight, so
I love
I'm
this
not
show.
going.
I don't have one either. I just
It looks cool. No,
Yeah.
like the cover photo looks cool.
I like a lot of the actors in this show
Like-
too.
I like your breakdown.
Yeah, I like you said sepia tone, so that made me happy. So
Yeah.
it looks
All
it.
right.
Who we got next?
I'm gonna bounce around. Let's see.
Okay, Riverdale.
Riverdale
Justified.
CW show that lasted longer. I think
Justified.
there was a running joke that the actors were ready for the show to be done long before it was finished.
So they were definitely ready for this to be done.
They were ready
just
for
like
the
we
show to be
were.
done. It started off like as
For
like a
sure.
murder
It
mystery
was
that
great.
season 1, and then
Ah,
they started to dabble in some supernatural stuff where I was like, I don't know if this fits with this.
That was okay, but when we went to like everybody has superpowers, I was like, yo.
It's like, so this is supposed to be, I never saw it, based on like the old Archie comics, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. You
Yes.
can watch the first 2 seasons.
So it makes sense, but it doesn't, because we know the comics dibble and dabble in different realms.
Yeah, Sabrina's
Of
part of
course.
this universe. Jeremy
Yeah.
Barry is
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, but yeah, immediately Justified. Like, please. When they
Agreed.
started getting crazy and tried to make old girl Phoenix. Like, stop it. She's not. Hang it up.
She was a fire
Oh,
witch.
stop now.
Don't forget she's a fire witch.
Jeremy said he walked away when Archie fought the bear.
And survive. But I will tell you this: when Archie father, Luke Perry, they handled his death in real life on this show, and Shannon Doherty came
Beautifully.
on, I boo-hooed the entire episode. It was so good. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
hmm
But it should have been canceled before it got that way. Absolute Revive.
hmm
Okay.
Oh, I like this
Absolute
actress.
Revive.
never
She
saw the
is
show.
one of the
Right.
people who die in a lot of not die, but she kills shows. She's a
Yeah, like,
Really?
like whatever she's like starring in, it doesn't last past the first season.
Even Scream 4 didn't do well because she was the opening kill.
Oh.
One of them.
No, that movie had problems already.
It did. It did. But Secret Circle was great. It was about a circle. The magic system is cool. You can have magic individually, but when you bind with your circle, you have increased magic when you're in proximity of each other. And so their circle was
Yes.
incomplete until the main character, who was intentionally and sneakily brought into this place
Mhm.
after her mother mysteriously died, and she comes to and meet her fellow circle, and then you find out, which is one of the best things for me, just like in Heroes, that the prior generation has mess that we're involved in too, and they're messy, and they have things that they're dealing with, and we're pawns and all of it. So that whole storyline like that, I loved. And you got to meet they brought in some old school actors. Speaking of Heroes, the cheerleader's mom was the grandmother of this girl,
Allie Larder?
Allie Larder. No,
Wow, pull that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Allie Larder was in Heroes, but she's not in Secret Circle. Natasha
No.
Henstridge from Species was in this. Amazing. It should have never been canceled. The books are great. We ended on the cliff note when a new circle of half good and evil witches were coming to invade their town.
Mm.
Is this girl on the bottom right? Is that the mermaid girl from the
Yes, it is.
Oh man.
Yes, Phoebe
It is.
Tonkin. So Phoebe Tonkin, you see her, and so she was on this show before she got pulled into. This was also a Julie Plex show.
Mhm.
She was also pulled into season 4 of Vampire Diaries, which then led her to the spinoff, The Originals,
Yep. Which was her last show, unfortunately.
which was her last show. All right.
Yep.
Oh, I did this one already.
Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay.
I'll keep this short. and sweet.
Cute.
I loved it. This got canceled.
Yes.
Okay, I actually love this show, but I want to keep this short and sweet. Anything outside the original cast, it doesn't need to be a show. If it's not Lisa and Kelly Kapow, that's why this show was good, because AC Slater, Jesse, Lisa,
Mhm.
they were all part of it. Zach was the mayor of California, and so Kelly was first lady, and the other ones were teachers. It was great.
Right.
However, if they're not in it, all of these spinoffs can be canceled. So if it got canceled, goodbye.
I think there's some of the more like the characters of color were a little bit more interesting. Like you see, like two of the kids in here are Kelly and Zach's children, and the one that is trans is way more interesting than the brother, of course.
Oh, the sister was trans?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like the actress is trans.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the actress.
But the actress and the character are trans, and so they kind of did it nicely to where it's like not like a huge big deal. Like,
you mean woke?
It wasn't. But you know how I feel about that word anyway.
I know, that's why I'm using it. This is the picture of what woke looks like in 2024. We have Black people, Latinos, trans, gay, queer, older women, older men.
Right.
This is a woke TV show versus the original.
Visibility? Oh my God, ew. Visibility.
My favorite thing about this picture is that not a single one of these people was in the same room when this picture was taken.
Thank you.
None of them were together when this picture was taken.
Cropped and pasted.
Yeah, I don't think even the couple that's holding, they weren't in the same
It don't
room.
look right, yeah.
Big Photoshop. Next up.
Okay.
This
so
version?
I put this on the list because after dogging every single episode as it was released, I have rewatched this all 4 seasons at least 2 or 3 times since it's been canceled. And it has become a guilty pleasure of something great to have in the background. I think they canceled it they should have canceled it earlier, or they should have let it keep going, because by the time they canceled it, it was starting to get good.
Sounds about right.
Use another word. Jesus.
Golly.
I'm about to, and all I got is this is dark, and we about to be out of it.
Woo.
But did anybody else watch this? Ricky, did you get a piece of it?
I watched the first season and a half.
Okay. Well, that was the first 4
I
seasons.
don't agree. So
okay.
You disagree?
Maybe I'll go back. I do. Maybe I'll go back and I'll make change my vote. But as of right now, no, thank you.
I feel like this thing didn't get. I feel like there were too many things that were going against it. So, I would have I liked it. I liked the parts that I saw. But with the way that they kind of rushed the first couple seasons of the original into one season, and then it had beef with the original cast, and the original writers. I was like, this is kind of an issue.
So,
I wanted to support them so bad.
My thing was I watched all the episodes. I did watch every season. I did. However, it wasn't collectively good. I can't feel confident in saying revive, because it has some. Yes, did it have some good parts? Sure. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the bad things made it just so come on now, y'all could have tried a little bit harder than this. Mm-hmm. And then they were just being so blatant with their messaging. It's come on, you don't just have to stop clearly stating what your no, not woke, but I mean, you would call it that, but stop clearly stating the message that you're trying to portray. Make it so that people connect to it unknowingly,
organically.
Yes, organically. You sitting up here saying, "Oh, the patriarchy, this blah blah blah." Girl, the original Charm didn't have to do all that.
You would have thought that these were women's studies majors from Vassar that was up here. Every last one of them.
Not Vassar.
Yes, it was bad. That part was really bad. Everything was not. That's why they called it woke.
You didn't have to scream it in my face and every time they would do that, it kind of disconnected. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it disconnected me from being involved in the narrative and the lives they were living. But anyway, yeah, I say justified. So
that's a big thing for you in TV shows too, when they force that type of narrative. Yeah, that's a big thing for you.
Don't force it. Be creative, because that's so lazy to me. That's lazy.
Yep.
Well, then, so I can understand that, because there are some writers that it's so they're tryhards when it comes to talking about some of these issues, whereas especially if they're not necessarily affected directly
There
by
you go.
those issues.
Yeah.
You guys can be, some writers can be tryhards when it comes to like writing and interpreting some of these things, whereas those writers of marginalized groups
Mhm.
can do it in a way that is natural and not so
Yeah,
like
like
blatantly in your face. Or if there is in your face, it's with a certain style.
Like what's that
Yes.
show? Dear White People. That's
Mhm.
embedded in the
Mhm.
what the show actually is. It's two different things
Right.
versus being never mind. Next
One of the ones that does it subtle, Steven Universe.
Yes.
Wicked.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of different
Wicked. Although like Wicked like it's oh man, like it is
Wicked has so many layers. Like
yeah.
between
It's interesting that the like the Broadway play did the same thing, but it hits the same thing but different notes with the movie.
Yeah. It's one thing for it to be baked in. It's another thing for it to be trying too hard, and it's another thing to have it included. But that's not only thing that's there. Like Wicked, like you said, Ricky, it's layered. It's not the only thing we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know,
all right, next up.
yeah, it's hard for some folks. Okay, I disagree with this. I don't watch it regularly.
This is
like
one
I
that's
used
not
to,
canceled, but I was saying maybe it should be. I'm mixed on this too, though, Ricky.
because it's kind of a staple.
It's an institution.
It is. And what's her name? Jennifer Tilly's still making money off of it, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Which is great.
She's a corn girl.
pay your workers, pay your writers. Here's the thing. So this is one of the things I have an issue with. Hey, maybe institutions don't need to be institutions, but also it is an opportunity for a lot of new writers, a lot of new voice actors, a lot of like this is oh hey, I made it onto this. I'm set for a while, or I can establish myself. That's great. But also like I know that like a thing being like what is this season 8 million they're on now or whatever it is. There have been definitely bad seasons. There have been definitely good seasons. It's going to go in waves, which is I think. It's the issue I have with it is when it's bad, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. When it's good, I'm like, hey, look, they found a new thing to do.
I have a question. Does people still come every night to watch this? Because I haven't seen this show in years, and I know it's still on, and I'm sure it's funny, but do people line up to go sit down and watch this episode?
No.
I don't think they're watching it live.
They're not. No, there's no way.
But I think on Disney Plus and Hulu now.
You're gonna have your diehards that are gonna say, oh, there's a new season, there's a new episode, whatever. However, this is slated now. They're gonna, there's whatever millions of people that are still watching this. But I think that it's gonna be the same like with me. It's like, oh, like I try to watch all the Halloween episodes because I think they're real fun. I try to watch, like, oh, this bit of story arc sounds interesting. I'm gonna come back and watch for a little bit, and probably stay a little bit longer than I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I fall asleep to.
I think it could be canceled. I agree.
Who's going to predict the future then?
But what's good? That's true.
Whatever.
You're not even predicting the future at this point. You're just an encyclopedia.
Nostradamus.
Yeah,
Nostradamus.
It's just you throw enough, throw enough darts, you're gonna hit.
Nosferatu.
The Boys. Now this was Ricky's pick. She thinks that this show should be canceled.
I agree.
At this point in the game.
I'm ready for it to be done. Like this last season was a lot. So like this upcoming season, this is season 5 that's coming up. That one will be the last season, and I'm okay with that. It's the commentary awesome, but the commentary is starting to get lost because media literacy is not a thing.
Tired. We've seen the same
because now we're about to live it. I understand.
The media literacy is not connecting. So
just give it to Gen V, let it take over, and then bring everybody else for like spinoffs and bigger plots. Bye, boys.
So like I'm okay with this ending.
I'm indifferent, so we can go Justified. That's fine. All right. Next up.
Okay.
Don't trust me. This is another Ricky pick.
Okay, so I don't know what was it with like the early 2010s for ABC, but ABC had some cute little comedies that didn't get the love that it deserved because they got like the Friday night slot of death. This was one of them. Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. Our Jessica Jones right here, who's hilarious in this.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of an asshole roommate. has a
Her
goody
normal
two shoes.
character she plays.
Right, exactly. Has a goody two shoes girl that comes lives with her. This had James Vanderbeek. It was hilarious and it was a cute show. I think it was before its time, and it sucked that it didn't get renewed. And that's it.
I have no dog in this fight. I'm not gonna vote one way or the other for me.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna vote either. I'm not gonna vote.
Yeah, I got it.
I've only seen a handful of episodes, and they were all funny.
Yes, I mean, like it's and that part too. Like a lot of comedies that don't get it's just desserts because for whatever reason. This is one of them for me. Okay, so here's another one.
Okay.
This one. I don't. Okay, so anything
was
Tyler
listed
Perry
as
can
Tyler
get the
Perry
dip.
film, Tyler Perry TV shows.
Lucy, I'm very shocked that this is the suggestion.
No, so
I can't even remember this.
The list you gave me was 60 items, 60 something items, and it said Tyler Perry's TV shows. I'm completely unfamiliar. I was trying to find what were movies and what were TV shows, and I was lost.
All of it.
You could have just made a collage.
Honestly, just all of it. Quite honestly, I've
never seen this show, but I should be on the list.
Probably, yeah.
And I even remember this show. I don't even
Just
know
across
this
the board.
is.
That's probably.
This is crazy. I think maybe I do vaguely remember this, but it's so hard. I don't know. I feel like maybe I did watch one or two episodes because I do typically tend to watch Tyler Perry's movies and TV shows with the understanding of what I am watching. That's the difference. You have to understand what you are watching and stop expecting.
It has an
something.
audience. That's why it's still successful.
Right,
Different.
which is why I am not part of the audience. I am not part of the audience, and I'm totally okay with not being part of the audience. And so I will gladly say it's justified, whatever it is. But
Canceled.
yeah.
So you don't like black soap operas?
Not this
Not
one.
this
Not
one.
anything he does.
You like telenovelas?
Telenovelas.
I love a good telenovela, but I don't care for Tyler Perry.
See, that's
Next.
see, that's discrimination.
I don't care for Tyler Perry, so that's
Not reverse racism.
Look,
Next.
if that makes me a hater, then I'll totally bring this hateration to this dancery. I don't care.
Okay, what we got? April City.
You know what?
Okay.
This is the perfect time to bring this up due to Wicked being out. #Wicked.
Yes.
This is another prequel that leads up to Dorothy's story that should have had multiple seasons.
Yes.
It is the Game of Thrones of the Wizard of Oz world.
Yes.
It had the ability to branch off into so many different stories, so many different characters, and it just failed us. Like everybody that you see on here on this picture, we have the Wizard, we have the Scarecrow, we have the Tin Man, we have the Wicked Witch of the East, West, and Glinda, which is the North or South.
Dora Milaje.
We have Mombi. We
Rising
have
Dora Milaje, yes.
and Dora Milaje. She's everything, and
Right.
that's why I came to watch it.
My only
Just
issue
only
with
had-
it was because she spoiler alert, she died like the first thing. Like you wanted more of her. Like honestly, like part of the reason why I decided to watch it was because of her.
Me too.
But I stuck because it was a good story.
Was a real good story.
This show got one season?
Yes.
It's insane, bro. It's insane. This show is good, and
It's
it
good.
literally, why I dare you to watch the first 3 episodes. It literally has that same Game of Thrones big world field. It has honestly the potential to be. It had the potential to be something amazing.
I think Jeremy likes this show.
And
And should have.
Jeremy gave it 5 thumbs up.
Okay, he said he needs to be revived immediately.
Devin, who you been?
Devin,
Going to jail.
I don't know who
You're going to
texted you.
jail.
You had to go run for a little meeting, but you left in the middle of our game, and that was it. You're out of it. So I hope it was worth it. I hope it was good. And speaking of it, the show was porn, and I was grateful.
The Michael was talking about the
This
Tyler
show?
Perry show. No,
Of
Tyler
Perry
Perry
course,
show.
he
Oh.
loves all those ratchet little shows. King Michael in the building. Hey.
Oh my god.
Okay, what we got next?
All right, so I'm gonna bring it back down to let's see here.
Exactly, Jeremy. Multiple. This will be quick.
God.
Cancel.
The wig.
We don't even
Justified.
wig.
The wig.
about it. We don't even
Is she
talk
supposed to be
about it.
Medusa? Is that who the?
Yes, exactly.
Baby, she had that hair for 2 episodes, and it was an awful buzz cut after
It
that.
was a mess.
Foolish. It was foolish. It got canceled mid-season. I didn't. They still did that anymore.
And then they do that.
Oh man,
Okay.
it's like they just can't like we don't need
doing
to.
that bad. Y'all
We don't
down real bad.
Okay, so dude in the middle, I swear he can only play
The same role from Game of Thrones to
Yes.
Misfits to this. He's the same person.
He just plays assholes wherever he is.
And didn't this get backdoor piloted through
Agents of Shield.
Agents of
Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Shield, and still got
Golly.
canceled. And still got canceled.
Sure did.
And what makes it even worse is I don't even think this show kind of took on the lore that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. already built around the Inhumans. I think they tried to do something different
By themselves.
And I said, no, ma'am, y'all have it. You're done here.
He don't post
I
to
watched
open
probably-
his mouth and speak. Somebody need to fix
I
this
probably
now.
only watched 2 episodes. I probably only watched 2 episodes. It's
When
outta
they cut
here.
her hair, I'm
Don't-
done. Mm-mm. The special effects was trash. I'm glad they cut it. Next,
Yes, please.
Heroes. No, you tried to
They
revive
can
Miss
stay.
Mamas. You tried to
Yeah,
revive
they
Miss
did
Mamas.
try.
But how dare you kill?
And they
Clutch?
tried hard. They tried hard.
How do you kill the cheerleader?
Well-
The whole point of this is Claire. I'm over it. I'm out of it.
That was just the first season though. So this is one of the, I picked this one. This was like you could tell there's a distinct line between when the writer strike happened and when the show was picked
Clear.
up back up again.
Oh.
Like you could episode to
Hands
episode, you're like,
down.
oh, I know exactly where this happened. And it's like, I don't know, like all the actors came back, but it's like all the writers left. Like every single writer is just gone. It was very
Like
upsetting.
it was like nobody knew what to do where they
Yeah.
was off. And it was so stupid because it's like it's not hard. Like y'all literally just watch it. Just watch it.
It was
and you can
giving.
easily create a narrative from this.
It was giving. Our parents left, and we have food. in the
Never seen
freezer,
Heroes.
but we have nothing to do with it. We don't know how
Big
to warm
fun.
it up.
Big fun.
Yeah, we got nothing but frozen pizzas, so we don't know how to work that.
We have
oven.
no clue what the temperature to put on, how to turn on the oven. That's what the writers was giving.
Which
Here's
was
everything. Nationals platter. Hello,
Yeah.
but you dropped it.
my and it was season
Big
2
Red.
was-
But you know, go ahead.
they leaned really heavily into Hero, the Japanese characters like story, this time travel stuff, and it's just like that was my favorite thing. And all of a sudden they're like, well, we don't know what happens now.
Oh, well.
But you know what? So it's funny because when they came back, there was that moment where it was a hard pickup. But then they started to do something that was like, okay, maybe I can deal with this. You're going with it, and then screwed it back up.
Yeah, I
And
think they
wanna
had
say
a,
that's when it started.
instead of
That's
having
when they started incorporating.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
got you.
Go
That's when they started incorporating more of the older generation, and that started to get more interesting. But
Yeah.
it can stay gone. We've already tried it. They already tried it again. Brought back
Already tried
characters,
it.
and
And
didn't
it's
work.
coming back. It's not done.
So I wonder what is the impetus to restart it and then restart it again? Like I enjoyed it. Like
Because
I'm probably gonna go watch it, but like I'm
Because
so
it was-
trepidatious about this.
It was initially just that great, to be quite honest with you. Like it was when Heroes first came on. Again, another show that broke some amazing ground in how you dealt with people on TV with abilities, but still had
This is-
such depth to their characters.
This is one of the first times you see
They
like
were-
superheroes like dealt with like in a good
Adult.
way, because like in a non-campy way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure. And don't get me
And
wrong.
you got. Go ahead.
Some of the other seasons were great. Things happen in those seasons. I don't know.
Mhm.
So when they brought in, like, I think it was season 2 when they had Hero went back in time.
Yeah.
And they all got the little death threats by the James something. I can't remember. James Monroe. You know, the guy from Vampire Diaries, who Elena's father, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one who created the sword or whatever.
Yeah, he was immortal, just like Hero. I mean, just like somebody
Mhm.
else. Well, he may have been that guy. Is that
Yes.
before or after?
That's definitely like after the writer's
I
strike.
think that's
I
I
thought
think
that
it gets
was
muddled
brilliant.
in there.
I thought the writer's strike happened during the carnival during season 4 when it got bad.
Oh no, there were two writers. There were two different. I don't know if there were two different writer strikes, but that's when I went back to saying like they came back and it was crazy, and then they started doing some cool things, and then they dropped the ball again. I don't know if another writer strike happened, but yeah, it got weird. And I mean, yeah, like I said, it could stay.
And the mishandling of the black people, not POCs, because Mohinder was done fine, but Monica, the one who was like Kitty Pryde. No, she was not Kitty Pryde, but the one who had muscle memory or whatever.
No,
it was.
yeah, she would watch something and then she could do it. Or she would.
I'll never forget that tomato thing she put up. And then Micah, her nephew.
Yeah,
that was your future.
Her cousin.
It
was perfect. All right, next.
Do 2 more, or how we gonna do?
Go.
Oh, how many we got?
We got a lot.
We have a million.
We got so many guys.
2 more.
Okay, so here
it's
we go.
Devin's fault.
Cancel.
Vampire Diaries. It can stay gone.
So let's
there was 2 of them. So there's Vampire Diaries on here, and there was Legacies on here.
Run it.
Okay, give us 3.
Okay, so yes, love triangle. Normal human girl gets caught in between a love triangle between 2 vampire brothers. She looks like their ex-girlfriend that kind of traumatized them. Not sister, friends a witch, and all this other crap. The thing is, depending on what you watch this show for, really determines if you thought things were dry or boring or not. So, like, if you were watching this show purely for the romance and for the love triangle, then those later seasons are probably not your cup of tea. Because and honestly, like, the early seasons were the better ones, but there were some good storylines in the later seasons that were purely about the folklore and the magic that people just kind of dissed on because this love triangle wasn't the focal point, which
was annoying.
Which by season 5, that shit was dry because one of the brothers who was in love with one of the girls, but the girl wasn't actively trying to pursue her. It made it clear that he was going to respect his brother's wishes and leave the girl alone for the most part. And so it was like, okay, so what are we doing? So why are we dangling this thing here? So now would be a good time to
act for a long time too. Like
they did,
really
and unnecessarily so.
I was like, no, please give him something.
And honestly, like, quite honestly, I was just like, I don't necessarily care. Whatever. Oh, yes. Okay, well, no.
She was selfish. Bored.
Yes. So
selfish B-word.
So yeah. So if you were watching this for the folklore, the magic, the supernatural stuff, you might have enjoyed most of the show. If you're watching it for the love triangle, you probably got over it by season 5.
10 seconds for me. Actually, not from me. Cam went back to try to watch this at one time after loving the originals, like we all do.
Yes.
Cam, can you share your experience and why?
I can't do it. I keep trying. It don't work. It's so teeny bopper. No, it's
Twilight.
It just doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, but no, because I'll watch Twilight. But this was Vampire Diaries was truly teeny bopper for me. I don't know. I watched it and it's like, this is not. I don't care about nothing that y'all talking about.
Yeah.
And even with the supernatural factor, like it made it even worse to me because I'm like, y'all are too young. Just everybody shut up.
Right. Look, girl, you're 17 and this dude's 125. What are you doing? Please leave him alone.
What are you doing? Now, I will quickly, the Heretics, the Gemini Coven, and Bonnie Bennett was my favorite things and Silas and Ketia. Those things,
wasted potential, and they had wasted potential too.
All those things could have been, you could have got rid of these people right here, and they would have been the heart of that, and it would have still been successful. Fire.
Yes.
Next. Lexi should have kept going. and they've
Yes.
ruined. They didn't do good on the last season. This was my recommendation.
Yes,
Lovecraft
Lovecraft
Country,
Country.
based off of the picture behind me. Now, this I'm going to move through this quickly. This is based off of a book. You should check it out. It's great. It's old and it's written by someone white who has a perspective into the Black culture. So that's something for you to know. That's not taking away from how great the book is. It's just showing you, giving you context to how it's written. It's great, but the TV show, however, is there hasn't been anything in a long time that could probably challenge how great the show was. Every single episode, and as a lover of horror, every single episode was like a different genre of not just horror, but like movies. There was one episode like Indiana Jones. There was one like a house possession, one that was possession. There was one that was aliens, time travel. They covered every sort of genre in each of these episodes, and Journey Smollett played a different type of final girl leading lady in each episode. She was a little bit of damsel. She was a little bit of Lois Lane. She was a little bit of a final girl. She gave you everything in this show while having this awesome man behind her support her and being great in the dramatic beats, the action beats. It was just good. The spell work was great, and we didn't get enough of it.
The world building was like,
oh my God.
like the thing that they were going to introduce in season 2, and like for it to not happen is devastating.
I'm glad you said that because that's why it got canceled. This show had 13 Emmy nominations and won a few, maybe, but it had 13 and got
right.
Hey, you can't tell me this show didn't end with high viewership. You cannot tell me that.
Right.
Yeah.
You won't tell me there was a drop in viewership, period.
You wouldn't have her season Bible ready if it wasn't if the pilot wasn't written, getting ready to be approved. So Misha,
every episode ended in a way where you had to know what was next. You could not stop watching. It was addictive. It was addictive.
And I'm not gonna say just because the leads were Black that I was that is a really strong reason.
Right.
But I think if that wasn't the case, this still would be a very great television show. However, it wouldn't work. However, season 2 of this show, she released her Bible and snippets of it online. It dealt with reversing the status quo as we now know it, to where people of color, mainly Black people, were running the United Nations, the country, and there was a section called the White Lands. And that's where most white people who lost their powers were now zombie-ish type creatures. There's no way HBO was going to let that propaganda get out. And so it was canceled.
Oh, man, sabotage.
Sabotage next.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Last one.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
Oh!
Wait, I've never seen this one, but okay.
I'm not either.
You did that, Ricky.
You did that. No, Cam, let her have it.
Thank you. That was for me. No Ordinary Family. Underrated show by far. Revive it immediately. It should not have ended. This is the story of family takes a vacation.
Is that a Panabaker?
On there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Danielle Panabaker.
Yes. The show was phenomenal. The family goes on a vacation. They're on a plane. They end up in a plane crash that involves like some chemical situation that they end up coming back from the vacation with powers.
Classic.
They have, oh my God, they end up with abilities that, of course, is directly linked to an insecurity that they have, or just a challenge that they deal with. The father, I believe he was a police officer.
Of course he was. Look at him. He's always a police officer.
Right.
Yeah. And the wife is a scientist. The wife is honestly, it's literally Fantastic Four, but
yeah, it is.
It's the Incredibles. Meet Fantastic Four, easy.
Incredibles. It's everything that you could have wanted in a show. And they have a friend of the family who knows their secret, and he's kind of like the human sidekick. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's great. So you get a little bit of everything. You get some action. You get family challenges, developing, figuring out what direction they were going, and just when you know what's coming next, that they're about to kind of like form a legitimate superhero crime-fighting family vibe, because other people have been affected by this chemical too.
And they got released. That's right.
they got released and they canceled it. So
Yep.
Can't
Michael
have nice
Chiklis.
things.
you should try to find it.
I can find it and send it to y'all. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
get
it's an incredible watch. You may be able to find it on Hulu, or you might have to go in the deep dark of like Tubi or Freevee or something like that. It's not showing on any specific network, Devin. You are gonna have to dig from
Yeah, right now it is either on YouTube, Fandango, or Amazon Prime.
Yep.
See, there you go.
My
So
Fandango
YouTube it. Got YouTube Premium or whatever, and that's perfect because I just got myself a free trial, so I will be rewatching that. And check it out on Amazon Prime. But yes, I promise you will not be disappointed.
Whew.
All right,
We did it.
That's
Yeah.
it for Revived or Justified, and talking about some of our favorite shows that have been canceled, some shows that should be canceled, and some that we are proud to have canceled because they deserved it. Of course, we know that there are many others. If there's any that you guys can think of, leave them in the comments. Maybe we'll do a part 2 of this. You never know. But we'll be sure to be back here next week. If you guys want to catch us, I don't think we decided.
You'll find out when we find out what we'll be chatting about next.
Yeah. Just be ready. So you're gonna like, share, subscribe. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, turn
Push
those
the
notifications
buttons.
on. I promise. Yeah, we won't blow your phone up. You can find us on social media. Feel free. You can find our Facebook page. All of that's in our bio. Go to the link in the bio. You get all the platforms that we're on. Share with your friends. Share with your families, share with your nerd groups, come out and geek out with us. And we're going to be signing off. So we'll start with Taman.
I'm Taman.
I'm Cadence.
I'm Ricky Z.
I'm Lucio Man.
And we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Casey Goofy, man.
Yeah, exactly. See you later.
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
It's okay. Just run it back.
No, restart the show. He's here. Let's restart the show. Let's go.
Yep. We'll be right back in 10 minutes after we grab a snack and another drink, and we're ready to run this show.
Part 2. All the reality television.
And on that note, y'all.
Okay, no.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Good night. Good night.